The Subway Surfer Riverdale Roast. Let's get started. Well, all aboard, you fellow Subway Surfers. Strap hangers. This is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative marketing consultant. This particular video is over 10 years in the making. Let me explain. When I first got my very first iPad, which I won in a contest, by the way. I'll make a video about that later on. But when I got my first iPad, I was scared to death. I was new to technology. I had no idea how to use it. And so I remember sitting on the edge of my bed. It was 10 o'clock at night. And I played with it, and I played with it, and I started drawing my version of Archie comics characters. Started playing with the tools, messed up, got the hang of it, and when I looked up, the sun was shining and it was 5 o'clock in the morning. So I realized that I had stayed up all night to master the iPad, and this is the result. All of these pictures were made in one night. I love Archie comics, but there's things about the characters and the storyline that I've always hated, and so now I get an opportunity to relish my hatred, quotation marks, on Archie comics. Stay tuned. Even though Archie is the star of the comic series, it's called Archie Comics, I always hated Archie. Hated him. I couldn't stand that stupid haircut of his where he had the two balls, parted kind of on the side. And I never could understand how Betty and Veronica especially was going crazy over this guy, fighting over him practically. He couldn't do anything right. He had a car that was put together with spit and masking tape, it seemed like. And he was immensely popular with the ladies. So looking at it as an adult, I said it had to be something else. But we'll move on. This is my rendition of what Archie looks like, and since he's such a ridiculous, clownish character, I thought he deserved to have this appearance. Is there any character in the Archie universe more chill than Jughead Jones? And let's just get this part out of the way. The guy's walking around with half-closed eyes. This guy is a stoner. And he's always been a stoner, even from the time he was a little kid. There's no other explanation why this guy is walking around with his eyes half closed. Of course, back in the day, you can't really go out and say that he smokes weed, but I suspect I'm not the only one with this opinion. Another reason why I like Jughead is he's really a man of mystery. We don't know too much about him other than he likes food. He's a painter. Nothing seems to bother him, and we've already covered that. And for some odd reason, he doesn't like women. Now, I'm not trying to say that he may be the first gay character in the Archie universe, but, I've pretty much always wondered that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But Jughead is my favorite character. And I guess you can see by the amount of love that I put into drawing this picture. Reggie Mantle, Archie Comics resident bad boy. He's kind of a roguish character. I look at Reggie and I say, if you were going to die, Reggie would whisper in your ear, "You're going to live." That's the kind of guy that he is. He's sly, he's slick, and I think that he's independently wealthy because he always seems to have money. He always seems to have money to impress and date Veronica Lodge. We don't know what he does. We don't know how he makes his money. But like I said, since he's walking, I believe, on the wrong side of the law, just walking on that tightrope, he may be doing something questionable. He may even be Jughead's supplier. Who knows? Also, Reggie has a bit of a death wish. He likes to date Midge. Midge is Moose's girlfriend, and he gets pounded every time he does it. But he keeps going back because Reggie is a man of danger. He likes to walk the edge. Moose is a homicidal maniac, in my opinion. If it wasn't for the football team, there would be bodies all over Riverdale. He'd also be a bully, I feel, because he's got this rage inside of him. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe he's an abused child. Maybe his father left. Maybe his father beats him. He's coming from some kind of situation where he's got all this rage. Also, he's dumb. He's dumb as a bucket of rocks. And I believe that he has the realization that he knows he's dumb. Other thing about Moose, I believe he keeps Midge in this crazy codependent type of relationship. I think that she's terrified of this guy, but she's scared to leave because she's fearing what he might do to her, and also her partner, if she ever leaves him permanently. That's why I think she frequently flirts with Reggie so many times. Reggie's her relief. But like I said about Moose, he knows he's dumb and he's angry about it. It's a good thing that he has something to control him and calm him down. Dilton Doily is the one who calms the rage of Moose. He treats him like a regular person. And the relationship works out for the both of them, because if it wasn't for Moose being pals with Dilton, Dilton would get pounded by the town's bullies on a regular basis. So Moose is protection for Dilton. Now, Dilton is the resident nerd of Riverdale, and he's also the resident genius. I suspect with his superior intellect that he's going to be the richest, most influential man in Riverdale someday. And guess what? He's probably going to have Moose as his bodyguard and his valet. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed my hopefully thought-provoking yet scathing review of Archie comics. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate Archie comics, and this was my time to lash out at them. No, I love Archie comics. Archie comics were the first comics that I was attracted to as a kid. I blew past Marvel and DC and headed straight for the rack where the Archie comics were. Why? Because I looked at the comics and it seemed like the pictures were something that I could draw. Marvel and DC were way too complex, way beyond my ability at the time. But I was heavily influenced as a young artist by Archie comics. So influenced that I'm going to prove it to you. At the end of this particular page, if you go to the next one, you'll see 2 pictures that I did in the 6th grade. A little embarrassing for me, though, because, I drew like a 6th grader. But it's a picture of my class, the boys in the class, And it's also a picture of a character that I named Billy the Boxer. Not a lot of imagination back then, but it did show my love for alliteration. Anyway, stay tuned. This is Elton Subway for Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant. But don't go until you see those pictures. As always, comment, subscribe, and share. I went to school in Brooklyn, PS 226, and my teacher's name was Mrs. Wren. It became apparent in no time at all that I was the class artist, and I was commissioned to do everything. Bulletin boards, book covers, all of that stuff. One day, my teacher was putting out a class newspaper, and she suggested that I draw all the guys in the class in my style. This was back in the days when teachers didn't use photocopiers. This was the days where they used something called a rexograph. If you don't know what that is, everything came out purple and it had this smell that would make you high. You can definitely see, especially by looking at the eyes, the Archie influence in the drawing. Billy the Boxer. When I look at this picture that I did at 11 years old, it tells me about myself that I had a lot of confidence in my ability and I would not quit until I got better. And that's the lesson for any artist. No matter how much you suck, and this picture sucks in my opinion, but you should keep going, keep practicing, keep dreaming, and you will get better. Getting back to the picture, I've always been a fan of boxing. My brother was a Golden Gloves champion. I did full contact karate, and I also did boxing myself. Wasn't as good at it, but I did it. And so I thought it was a natural transition to make a comic about boxing. The anatomy, not so good, but I'm glad to say it got better, and today I still love and make comics. Hope you enjoyed this series. Thank you so much.